Joe, we're just going to make a little video on myself and my son-in-law Anthony. He's the cameraman and I'm on sound. Now we're going to try and pull it together as best we can for you. And we're on our way in Tetra at the moment. Just showing you Tetra Road at the moment. We'll show you the houses when we get in there. You won't know this road, I'm sure now, but you remember coming in lots of times when you were a young man visiting the Milady household. Mommy and Daddy used to be always delighted to see you, especially when you get the new uniform. You bring the old one in to Daddy and give it to him. He used to be delighted to see you. So we're coming in now. This corner here used to be called Mary Rourke's garden. In here, this turn here, there's a forestry in it now. Taking you down memory lane. I think I told you that at the beginning, but that's what we're doing. So you'll be able to jog your memory and have all the think back when you were a young man coming in here. Oh, there's 4 new houses here in Tetra now. If we look to the left, there'll be Caroline Maynard, or she'd be a daughter of Annie Rocks, and Dara, daughter of Ned Rocks, and that's Rocks. That's Granny Rocks' old place when she lived in Tetra. So I'm going to stop here now at Granny's Boating. This is the road up to Evers's, and where Uncle Tommy lived. The Gage lived up there. That's Granny's Boating. That's it there, and you can see at the top of Evers's house. There's nobody there now. They're all dead, and it's up. I think Billy Evers's grandson, he has it up for sale. So, and someone told me that someone from California is interested in buying it. Whether that's true or false, I don't know. So we're heading up towards our place now, and we'll be filming. There's 2 houses here, new houses that belong to Tom's son Kenneth and David, and Jimmy Handley's new house. So we're coming up now to Kenneth's house. It's on the right. Kenneth's house here on the right now. This other house, the one on the left, then is Jimmy Handley's new house that he built. So now we're coming up to David's house. He's built a new house here. It's up in the high garden where Daddy used to sow the vegetables, and his wife is from Seattle in the USA. This is his new house. Now I'm going to drive up. You'll get a shot off it. So that's his new house, and this house here on the right is Handley's old house. I think they're going to bulldoze that down when they get a chance. So David's house is only new. They only built it there about 12 months ago. So now we're heading back out of Tetra, and we're going to go up the Ardohol Road, and we'll be heading for Gutchin. Okay. Joe, this is Ardohol Boheen, where that's up here now where Nanny Murphy and Mike lived, and the Higginses. You remember Tom Higgins and Bridie Higgins. You remember them when you were going up, and then Tom's house is up, and you can't see it with the trees, but it's up just behind that. His wife Anne lives there at the moment, and his son Thomas. So now we're here at Mavihil's gate, like this, the avenue up to Mavihil's. You remember when the Mavihil's were in Ardohol? I think Sister Stephanie worked up there for a while. That's Mavihil's gate, so you can... Mavihil's gate. Right. Now Joe, this is here. This is called Fanny's Hill here. I don't know, there used to be a woman lived there, and there was a house in there. I don't know, did you ever see it in your time? But that's what they call it, Fanny's Hill, and I know in the States that's the meaning of that word is different from in Ireland, but that's what she was called anyway. Whether that was her right name or that, I don't know. So we're travelling up now to the next house on the right hand side is Anthony's house, Anthony and Lisa's. Here we are now, it's Anthony and Lisa's house. Next one after that is PJ and Eileen's. Now we're coming up to Hilltop House, that's my house. You remember when you were home for the Dublins reunion? Yourself and Mary stayed in the Love Nest downstairs. And James and Janet was upstairs in the Love Nest. I think you were on a second honeymoon. I think that's what you were at anyway. I have fond memories of it anyway. Well, a great time. So the next two houses are two new houses. They're my neighbours. When I moved to Gurteen first here, there was only myself and Liz. There was no houses either side of us. These are my neighbours, two new houses. Place we have is the avenue into Gurteen here, where Lardile and Jay Mahan lived. Now we're here at Gurteen here, where Lardile lived, and Jay Mahan. And you know, Teresa Gertie was her name, and Pauline Gertie and Eileen Gertie. So Teresa's married. She married a man from Yulton Castle. His name was Sonny Kinney. I'll show you. You'll see her house now in a minute when I move on a bit. That's Sissy told me that's where all the McGraths came from in there. Their ancestors came from in there, and that happened in there. So that's Teresa Gertie's house now, and she got married, and her son and her grandchildren lives there. Here now, it's on the right hand side. There's no house here now, Joe. Mary Caffrey used to live here. Do you remember Mary Caffrey? And all the travellers used to camp along here as well. So we're looking over Gurteen Bog a bit, where you can see it there. Small bit of bog and the green field in there. Far away, that's Billy Diamond's land in there in Derry. So we're travelling on now, and the next two houses. The two houses on the left, one is Seamus Milady lives in it. That's Jim's son. Here on the left hand side now, and we're still in Gurteen. This is Seamus Milady's house. He lives in there, and then the next house here, the man living in this new house here, he's from Cork, and I think his wife or his partner is from somewhere in County Longford. So we're at the head of Sissy's Road now, just at the head of Sissy's Road as you go up to your Uncle Tommy's and Aunt Martha. So we'll be coming around that way later on, but we're stopping here. Here, this is your Uncle Tommy's bog garden. So there's 1, 2, 3 new houses here. It's 3 new houses on the right. That's where your Uncle Tommy used to have the cows. And this third house, Johnny Gertie's granddaughter lives here in this third house. She's married here. Seamus Gertie, Johnny's son, built that. He died of cancer, a young man, so his daughter's living there. That's Johnny's granddaughter lives in that house. So we have 2 houses here now on the left hand side. One is Carol Milady, she's married there, and the first one, she's Jim's daughter. And then that's Jim's daughter daughter's house there. And the next house next to this is Welsh McGarrett's grandson lives in this house. Did you know Welsh? And his wife is a beautician. She does anything you want done with your nails and eyebrows and everything that the girls get done. I wouldn't have a clue, but she works there, and she works in the regional college in Athlone and teaching 2 days a week. The rest of the time she has her business there. So coming on here, there's another house here on the right hand side, and they don't believe in cutting trees or bushes. They're all into wildlife, and they don't want to cut bushes or trees because they say the bushes and trees are for the butterflies. The wife does go around checking on butterflies, so you can barely see the house with trees. And then we're here, right here now, at Potson's house. Potson's house, and many of the time you visited that, I'm sure. That's Potson's house. Potson left that to Johnny Gertie. Johnny Gertie sold it to Mona Kelly. She was married to a man from Dublin. Mona Kelly was a sister of Annie Rocks. Mona McGrath was her name. So they have that now for a holiday home. Come there several times a year. So now we're on to the Curtin School. It's being restored. This is where you went to school. They're halfway there. They built a big extension to the back where the halls used to be. And I don't know, they run out of money or something. Any of the guy that's doing it, I think he's in England, but hopefully they'll come back and finish it when they get the money. We have signs here on the wall. Here at Curtin School here, that's one sign, the Curtin National School here, just there. Built in 1886, and then we have one there that Leo Casey, is it? That's Leo Casey, isn't it? He taught in Curtin School. Is it Leo Casey? It is, yeah. John. And that's the post office. And over on the left hand side, you can see Anthony Feeney. So you can see the house there. We'll go back a bit. We're filming this from the car now, because the weather isn't great here. And you can see it a little bit. Can you get it? That's Anthony's old house. It went to fire, and his grandson has a new roof on it. He's going to restore it. So we're heading up now, on the house on the left is Kevin Feeney's house. It's the son of Anthony's. He built this house here. As a matter of fact, I built that house. And this is Kevin's house here on the left. The next house we meet here is Johnny Gertie's old house, and a man from Kilkenny, is Johnny's granddaughter, sold this to a man from Kilkenny, and he has it set. Himself and his partner have gone to Canada, I think, and he turned all the sheds into the back. He has a couple of flats at the back, and they're all set. He turned all the sheds into living quarters. So this is Johnny's old house right here. And the next two houses here on the right are Kevin Feeney built them, and just the bog garden there. And I think there's two black families living there. I see a black man mowing the grass anyway, so they're rented. Kevin has them rented, the two of them. Now we're heading in Duggan's Boheen, in where you were born. So the first house on the left hand side is Malone's, and there's, I think, someone from Dublin bought. I'm not sure. They have living vans in the garden and tunnels. I don't know who they are, but this is they're living here on the left hand side. And there's some of the things that are in the garden, and this is John Malone's house here on the left hand side. On the right hand side, as we go down, the next house used to be Mariah Tark's. If Mariah and Mary Margaret was alive now, they'd be able to tell us who's in all the new houses, because I haven't well, new houses, but I haven't a clue who's in them. I just know them to see and wave. They all off working during the day. It's changed times from when we were growing up. You knew everyone. But I'd say if Mariah was alive, she'd have all the names that's in the new houses. So we're coming up to her house now. Where what used to be her house, where they used to live, I think there's pale hay in it now. That's it there. That's the door of it there, and it's covered with ivy. So I think Jack Mooney owned it, so he used to put pale hay into it. So the next house is Mary Margaret's, and an English lady lives here. It's in her partner, as far as I know. It's right here beside us now, Mary Margaret. She was married to Dodie Fox. And they have some kind of a living house in the garden as well. I didn't see that before. It's new to me. But I think you were in here. You were in here since I was in here. Now there's a new house built in right behind your house in Mary Margaret's garden. The family lives in that house. Now we're heading into right smack where you were born. Right here now in Dublin's. Virtually many's the good time I had here. God rest your mother and all the fun we had here when Janet and James came home first. When the old Ireland was around that time. You wouldn't know Ireland now, it's gone all mothered. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but life seemed to be simpler that time. Everyone had time to speak to one another and ramble and everything. So that's your homestead now. This is where you were born. So we're here now outside of Frank McGardle used to live here, where Wills was born. Wills McGardle lived there when he got married, and then he applied for a new house. The council built this house, and the old cottage is gone. Now his wife lives here, and the son. I have these electronic gates up, as you can see, for security, but if you look at the wall is only 2 foot high. So I don't know, I don't understand the logic behind the security gates. So we're here now at Cuthbert McGrath, and you know the Onion they used to call him. This is Cuthbert McGrath's house, and Tom lives here. His son Tom lives there now. This is Cuthbert McGrath. So now I'm turning to the right here now, and I'm heading into Derry and Dernagal. We're on the road into Derry now. This is the road into Derry. So we'll be coming up to the first house we'll be coming up to is Pat Fox's. That's Pat Tay, as you used to know. His house is here on the right now. There's nobody living in that because his son Paddy built a new house. There's a house here on the left hand side. It's a new house. This man, he bought a site of Paddy Fox. He's a barrister. He works in Dublin, but he lives nearly right on the edge of the Any because he has more. He has like what would you call it, a speedboat or one of these boats that you hire out from Shannon. So he needed the Eny to launch it. So he lives in this house here now, on the left hand side. I suppose you'd call it a cruiser, the boat he has, like what you'd hired out for a holiday. But that's his house, if you can see it through the trees. And the next house now is Paddy Fox's, or Pat Tay's house. Pat Fox is here on the right hand side. It's a good looking house, but it doesn't seem, I don't think Paddy, the son, has it rented or anything. It doesn't seem to, he keeps it in, maybe he keeps fires in or something, I don't know. It looks fairly good. But that's Pat Tay's house. He could have rented it, but I don't think he has, but he could have. So the next house we'll meet is Pat Tay's son's new house. He's married here with his wife. He has a son and a daughter as well. His son is in New York somewhere, and his daughter lives in Wexford. Where Jack Lynn used to live. Jack Lynn's old house is here on the left. Billy Connaughton is dead. Yeah, so Billy is dead, and his wife lives. They have a new house here. His wife lives in this house. That's Jack's old house. His wife lives there in this old house. So now we're coming into Billy Diamond. Remember Billy Diamond? Billy and Tommy lived in here. Billy and Tommy Diamond. Then they sold the two farms, and Billy Forbes bought it. So this is part of the old house, Diamond's old house. I think they're putting a new. I think there's a new roof on it. I see now. I didn't see that before. They must be restoring that or something. They built a granny flat for the mother. She's dead now. But they have a new roof on it. I see. So they must be restoring that house. So that was Billy Diamond's house when you were around. So we're coming right in now. We're coming into the slate wall here where you used to go swimming. Did you ever see Paddy Whalen swim? Paddy used to swim in the lip. This is where you brought all your girlfriends in here. I've been told that this is where you brought them in here when you were a young chap. So we're looking out over Lough Cree here now. This is the slate wall where you used to swim. And just here, you're looking out over in there now. That's where you used to swim. In there when you were a young man. Many's the fine day you spent in there when you come down from Grange Corman, and when you wanted to clear your head, I'd say you spent some time in here. So Patsy Fox's house is gone. Man bought the garden, and there's a new house up in Patsy's garden. All along here now there's new houses. This was Tommy Diamond's land, and the Forbeses, Billy Forbes, or the Forbeses' children, they've sold sites along here now. I don't know who's living in them. There's some of them from all over the place. This was Patsy Fox's garden, so that's a new house here on the right. And there's 1, 2, 3, is there 4?
5.
There's 5 new houses on the right all along here overlooking Lough Cree. We're still in Derry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses built here on the right. They're all new houses. Well, they've been here for a while, like, but I wasn't in here in a long time either. I don't as near as I live to this place, I don't usually come in here. If you hear noise in the background, it's the car because we're filming. I'm driving and Anthony is doing the filming. So now we're coming, Billy Forbes' son, William Forbes. That's how he's a 2-story house in there. He has it built in there. It's his house in there. It's in there. So we're leaving Derry now. So we're heading for Dernagallia. So the first house that we meet in here now is Bill Kinney. Bill Kinney built it. Kenny's used to live in further a bit, so built this new house. And Bill, of course, is in heaven now, so his brother, Paddy's son, Paddy Kenny's son, they live up in Loud. I think he uses it for a summer house now. They don't live in here. There's nobody living in Dernagallia now, only Barney Fox. Every other house is big. Barney Fox lives on his own in there. He just lives like a hermit now. We're after having 74 days rain in Ireland, so lived there, the Ganleys and from Peter, and then the Cunningham's here, and their house is up here. Look at it up there in the trees, and you might get a shot of it there when you stop here.
No.
Can't get it. No, it's up there in the trees anyway. So we're heading now for into Barney's, into the edge of Lough Cree. this little film brings back a lot of good memories that you had when you were a young man. I could think of a lot of good times, but I'm not going to start doing a running commentary on all the good times. I'm sure when you see this, it'll jog your memory and you'll be able to think of all the good times you had when you were a young man around here. There's a swan out there in the lake now. Now we're looking out over Loch Tree. That's the Shannon now for anyone in the States. It's the longest river in Ireland. Father Fox, did you remember Bernie Fox and Father Fox? Their land, they left this to some of their relatives in Dublin, and they built this house. They used it as a summer home. They come down here and in the summertime and they're looking out over the lake. It's a lovely place. Now the next house is Barney Fox's, Barney Fox's new house is here. Horizon. We can't go no further in here now. This is Barney's house. Bungalow there. Barney lives there. He never married. He had many girlfriends but never married. No, Joe, we're out of Dernagolla and we're starting here at just at Derry Crossroads. So there's a new house here on the right hand side. There's a Dublin family living in it. It's 5 bedrooms, and the husband and wife bought it, and they bought the wife's father and mother and his father and mother, and they all live there in that house. There's an Englishman in this house on the right. All new houses. There's a new house here on the right. This is Trimley now. This is where old Frank McGarrett owns the land up here, while his son Jim McGarrett owned it then. And I think Wills owned it at first, and Wills was drinking and Jim was lending the money. I think that's how Jim ended up with the farm. I think Jim or Wills drank it. So that's a new house that was Jim McGarrett's daughter built that. So we're heading on now, and we're on the left hand side here. Jim McGarrett has a new house. He built it here on the left hand side. There it is in there. Now we're here at Jim Quinn's, and you remember Jim Quinn's house? Jim Quinn's old house. This is it here. Tubber McGrath has sheds and everything up. Tubber McGrath's mother, she came from Argentina. She couldn't speak a word of English. Do you remember Jenny? She used to live here when Tubber, she wouldn't be living with Tubber and Nancy. She used to live there in this little house here. And that's the avenue up to Uncle Tommy's land. And off we're up there, I'd say. That's Jim McGarrett's house on the left there. We're coming up now to Barnacore, Bert's land. This is Bert's land here now, so there's 3. There's 4 houses in Bert's land. This is a house on the left hand side, new house. And 4 houses in Bert's land. Barney McGrath now just lives on the left here, Tubber McGrath's son. He lives there on the left. And coming to the second house in Bert's land is here, just on the turn. You're on your house. This is the second one in Bert's land. And this is the third house. 2 and 3, there's 4 houses in Bert's land. This is the third one. And the next house now is Francis Ryan. It's in Bert's land as well. He's the son of Michael Rhines. Jimmy Ryan was his uncle. turning in now to Annan, going down the Annan boat and bringing you down to the Red Bridge, where you went in Annan lots of times when we were making hay. So Tom Farrell's house, the Farrell's house here was just right here. The chimney is here. Francis Ryan must have it knocked down. No, he might be altogether. That's Tom Farrell's house. That's the chimney of it there. That's the old house. So we're heading down to into downtown the Red Bridge. I'll have to show you that. Now they have the Board of Works have done it up down here. There's a parking space here, and there's a lot of activity with fishermen. See a lot of fellas out there this morning. I don't know what they're doing. They have yellow jackets. They must be from the Board of Works. I don't know where they're from. Checking the flood levels, I suppose. I don't know. But they have tarmac there. There's a car park, and they have the LED lighting up, and they have the place here. Oh, there's a lot of there's a lot of activities here today. I don't know what they're doing. What the Board of Works must be doing. They're doing all sorts of levels and checking. They have they made a jetty there for the boats coming in, and this is the car park up here. It's tarmac, and they have the lights up. The lights are up, the jetties are up, and all there for that. It's all new. This is only a time you went in here over this bridge. This is the Red Bridge. This is where Sean Donegan drowned it. I think James, someone told me James has nearly been drowned trying to save her.
Go across it.
Go across it.
There you go.
I'm crossing the Red Bridge now. I don't know whether I get back or turn or something. This is on all the 60 acres. You were in here many times. I don't know, did you work at the here not because you were kind of a gentleman. You were off in Dublin. You were off as a nurse in Grangescombe, and you used to come down, but you never got down to Geraldford. I don't know whether you did or not, maybe you did, but I remember you coming into it, you used to put on this posh accent. You were a right funny man at the time anyway. There's a big boat on the you know. There's fellas out canoeing, I see lads on boats canoeing. There's a lot of activity going on today. I'd say it's the Board of Works that must be checking out depths of floods and all that.
Well, it's Francis.
Now Joe, we're here. This is Josie Ryan's house, and she's in a nursing home. That's her. Jimmy Ryan designed that house. You know, Jimmy was an architect. He designed that house. That's where Josie lives, and but she's in the nursing home now. The house is shut up. So we're coming on here now to Arnacar again. We're here nearly at Barney Ryan's. Barney Ryan's old house is on the right, and you know Barney Ryan's. The other house. His daughter married. She was married to a man called Trapp. They're all gone now. His house is sold. Some lady bought the Barney Ryan's house, and I don't know who she is. But it's on the left. I'm sure you were in it lots of times when you were a young man. But you're still a young man, sure. You're never too old to be young at heart. That's what I say. That's Barney Ryan's house. So then we're coming on here to. You remember? Paddy Kirk, they used to call him, but his proper name, they never call anyone in Ireland their proper name anyway. On the right hand side here, there was a little house here, and they called him Paddy Kirk, but his name was Paddy Fitzpatrick. So Johnny Gertie bought this garden. There's a house here on the right hand side, another new house. It's in there. That's on Barney Ryan's land. So this house here, that's on Paddy Fitzpatrick's garden. Johnny Gertie bought that garden. So his son-in-law built that house there. He was married to his daughter. She died of cancer young. She was only 40. So Billy Tracy's house is here on the left. You can't see it because it's all overgrown with trees and bushes. It's all covered. And a lovely little house it was. He used to keep it like a baby house. And up there in the far up in the field here on the right hand side, that's Tommy Joe Rush's. house. There's a Delaney man there got that, and he drowned it himself. And his wife is living there with the son and daughter. So now we come along, and we're coming up to Nell and Mick's house. And you know Nell Coughlin and Mick, I'm sure you remember Nell. She was always fond of a bit of news, like Mariah. This is their house. This is where Nell lived in there. That's Mick Coughlin's house. It's a bit dilapidated looking now. And this here, you know, Scully's here. This was Scully's house, and then Jim bought it, and Bridie lived there and raised their family there. And Jim's son sold the house then when Jim died. And there's a young couple living there now. They're after building onto it and everything. Having a lovely place to call it the Little White House. So we're coming on here now. We have on the left here we have Michael Ryan's son, another son, Michael Ryan's, James Ryan. He has a new house there. That's his new house. Another new house here belongs to Peter Byrne. He'd be a son of Charlie Byrne. Did you remember Charlie and Dodo Scally? And then this house, little house here, where Frank McGardle built it. He was married to Babes Tracy, so his nephew is living there now. He left it to his nephew, Frank McGardle. He was married to Babes Tracy. And now we're leaving. They used to call this place Tully, I think. There should be another name on the car during the car. They used to call that place Tully, I think. So now we're coming on to driving towards Shrewhill. On the right hand side, the old graveyard is on the right hand side, and the new one is on the right hand side as well, right next door to it. Now you can see Shrewhill graveyard, the old graveyard. You can see it here now. It's on the right hand side. This is a new graveyard now here on the right hand side. This is a new graveyard. It's there. And there's a little house on the left here. And you remember Michael Ryan? He'd be a brother of Barney's. He lived in Moy, and when he died, his wife sold the farm, and she came out here. He had land here, and she built that little house. So a son of Teresa Gertie's and a daughter of Teresa Gertie's in Corty. She was married, I told you that she's a sister of Eileen and Pauline's. They bought that house when Mrs. Ryan died, and they're living there now. And the next house you see is belonging to David McCormick. It's a two-storey house. Remember Tommy McCormick and Leo McCormick lived in Ballymahan there. You probably remember them lads. So that's his son has a house there, built there. So on the right hand side here, and there's a house here. It belongs to Mick Ball. Mick Ball, you know Tom Ball in Fahia, or in Foss. There's Mick's Tom Ball's son, and that's his grandson that's built this house here, in the new house on the right hand side. So the house on the left hand side here used to be Jim Rollins lived. It used to belong to the Parson one time. Charlie Burden's bought it. You can see it, and you might get a better shot of it up further here.
No.
It's in the trees anyway. It's hard to get it. But anyway, Charlie Burden's and Dodo Scally. Charlie Dodo's was his wife of Charlie Burden's. They bought it. You can see it now, can you, a bit?
A little bit.
Yeah. So now we're coming on to the cottage, as you call it, Nance's. Mixie Donnelly's here on the right hand side. It's just here where the hay barns is on the right hand side. The council knocked down the cottage. They were taking off the turn here. They didn't take off much of it, but Nance ended up getting a free house. Council built it for her. I get a better shot of it after. I'm going in John Keenan's voting where Thomas Donnelly and all them live. I'm going in here to show you some new houses. We'll get Nance's new house and we'll come back out. And on the left hand side here is Pat Evers' land. Pat lived down here. And Fatty in the town, Joe Fatty. You remember Joe Fatty in the town? His son Stephen used to do a lot with buying vans and things off old Joe. He used to have swing boats and all that sort of stuff for carnivals. So his son bought this land and they sold sites along here. And they call this Millionaire Road because one man lives in here. He won the lotto. He won 3.5 million. So he lives in one of these houses. I don't know which, but he does. He bought it off that anyway. They're all fine houses along here. This is the road down to Thomas Donnelly's and John Keenan's when John lived down here and Charlie Cochran lived in here. So it's all new houses all along in this road. You remember this place, there was nobody, only Charlie Cochran and Pat Evers and Thomas Donnelly's. This Charlie Cochran's daughter, she married a Belfast man. That's his house there. I built that house.
Yep.
Now we're back out from Thomas Donnelly's Avenue. And here's Nance's house. Nance and Pascal lived there. The council built that house when they took down the turtle, they knocked down the cottage and they built that house. Nice bungalow, great job. Nicely tarmacked and a whole lot. So this is Delaney's house, you see it up there in the field. That's Delaney's house, that's where Mrs. John Rain was born and Annie Delaney lived there and all that. I served mass in that house when the stations used to be in Derry when I was living in that Gates. So what we're doing now, we're going in Trumai into Ballyman. We're going down the street of Ballyman and we're going to film that. And we're going down one side and up there just to show you about the traffic and what's going on in the town. And on our way in, we'll be filming. We'll be catching houses both sides of the road. They're all new houses, like people that's living in them, I know some of them, but they wouldn't mean anything to you, the people that's living in them. So they're all new houses that you'll be seeing. The one on the right here. Entrance to Castlecourt. The ladies of Mary, remember when the nuns used to live up there? And this is the gatehouse here in Castlecourt. I'd say you remember the Dailies when they lived there. There's another new house in the trees there, you can't see it. But that was the gatehouse there. I think John Daly used to live there, you probably remember that. I don't know. This is the entrance into the Castlecourt convents and the ladies of Mary. Some family in nature bought that house, big house. It used to be, I think, Kieran Nellie's son there. He had it for a while. He was running a nursing home. So this is 2 new houses, 3 new houses here on the right side, just on this past Castlecourt entrance. This new house. So we're coming around to what they call John Flynn's corner here now. I think that's what they call it. Coming here on the left hand side is John McCormick's in Moy. Remember John McCormick lived here. 2-story house on the right hand left hand side. There's nobody living there now, the sons. Nobody using, they use the farm but they're living off away in new houses. So then on the right hand side is new houses all the way in now, the long way here. On the Moy Road now anyway, these are all the new houses. That's John McCormick's house there on the left hand side. it's nearly a little village and it's all here along here with houses. It's all green fields when you were growing up. There's a wide open space. I'm sure you were chasing together through them fields when you were a young fella. I let this car way up in here. Get a shot of Finn's house. It's in where Jack and Nick and all them lived in the new house. That's it there. That's their house. Jack died, as you know. He left no will. Left a lot of money. It's gone on for the last 4 years, and it'll be divided up between Beatty's children up in the north. I think she had 3 and Bernie has 1 daughter. There's 4 of them. He seemed that he was a very wealthy man. I think he left millions after. That's Finn's, you get that's his house there. That's the avenue down to Finn. You can see the old houses there, they kept it intact. So we're coming in here tomorrow, you know, when Michael Ryan was telling me brother Barney's he lived. I'll show you his house now when I get in and out of it. There's a new house here before it. And there's a lot of new houses, and they're all new houses on the left hand side. Some of them restored, like they're modernized them. These all on the left hand side are all new houses. Probably was cottages along there, they're knocked down. People built houses in the garden. So this is Michael Ryan's brother Barney. He lived there. That was their old house, and they sold it. Michael died. His wife sold it. I think this house here is an old cottage. I think the Hacketts or the Hatchets lived there. You might remember some of them. The next house is Rocks. This is where Brady Rock and Christy Rock and Jimmy Rock. That's their house. So all here on the left hand side, it's all built in housing estate as far as you can look along there. All houses here on the left hand side. They call it, I think it's Myville they call it. If you look to the right, all houses down where Master Murphy lived, all houses down there now as well. We're coming up to my crosses now. And right in front of us is another house in the estate here. But the technical school is next, but they're up straight across the road. We're going out on the main road now. We're coming into Ballymahona now. The left hand side there's new housing, and now we're right beside the new technical school now, or vocational school, whatever you like to call it. We have houses on the right. This, on the right there's Dr. Coyne used to live there in that old house. That's his old houses. I don't know what's going to happen to it, or they want to knock it down. They're talking about putting townhouses over water. These are all houses. They're probably a lot of them here. You'd have seen them when you were home the last time. This is the new boys' primary school. Well, there's boys and girls now. That's Ballymahan Primary School there. So we're coming in here now. Right on the left is Nally's garage. This sons of old Kieran Nally who used to drive Hanlon's bus. This is their garage, and they have a shop here as well, a spa shop, so petrol pumps, and well, new Lidl sign there, up there, see it's up there, and Lidl's, the store is down here, looking down at Lidl store, the big store, newly built, opened there before Christmas. That's Ballymahan Old Boys School is there, right in front of you, but there's a new car park there over there as well. So we're heading down the main street now. We're coming up to St. Matthew's Church. This convent building there belonged to the nuns. Council is going to be a big job going to be done there, going to build all libraries and halls and functions. That's St. Matthew's on the left. We'll run down the town. We'll be filming on the left as we go down. There's a shop there, Fresh Today. That used to be the country shop. Kellogg's. It's a changed place now since you were here, Joe. All the cars both sides, I don't know where they all come out. Probably a lot of cars pooling to go to Dublin during the day to work. They park here and they get the bus at 5:30 in the morning. As a bus runs from Ballymahan to Dublin, comes back in the evening. Can't be on her telephone when you were a young man. Someone told you there was a job going in Dublin, they'd tell you. You'd probably tell them they were mad. How are you going to get to Dublin? Coming up to Coney's Hotel there now on the left hand side. He'd be a son of Larry Coney's. I don't know if you know Larry, you might have. Next sign is south of Ballymulby Road, so we'll be turning around here and we'll run up now. We'll be filming on the left hand side again as we go. This is our doctor's surgery here now on the right hand side. Bank of Ireland, or the National Bank it used to be called in your time in the early days. It's the Bank of Ireland was here on the left hand side. Powell and Co. solicitors here. That's Jimmy Daly's shop. Remember when your mother used to come on a Friday? She always went into Jimmy Daly. She'd have the tea. That's the shop. So the old post office is there. Right on the left hand side is the courthouse. That's the new library now. That was where they used to hold the courts there in Ballymahan. I think the first Friday or the last Friday of the month. It's now the new library. All modernised, full of computers and everything like that. This is Finnegan's Garage on the left hand side here now. It's a lot of parts, Ballymahan. Then that's St. Matthew's Park up to the left there. That's a housing estate up there. And then we're coming up to Lovell Brothers here now in a minute. Lovell Brothers is here on the left hand side. That's Ballymahan Credit Union there. This is Lovell Brothers. And there's a place here you're very familiar with, I think. It's Maggie, used to be Maggie Murray's sure you were in there lots of times. That's Maggie Murray's there. That's the house. Now we have the D&E library here on the left hand side. Is now called Bridgeways. A lot of function goes on there, workshops and things like that. Ballymahan car park there now. So that's Ballymahan, a quick run through Ballymahan to give you an idea of what the towns look like with cars and everything else. It's a busy place now, it's a thriving town. So we're heading through up to Darragh now. And Delaney's house, we can stop at the avenue here and get a shot of it up there. House will be Andy Frawley's. You knew Andy Frawley. He was fond of the liquor. Now this Andy Frawley's house is derelict now, but his granddaughter, she's going to restore it. Her husband is a builder. They're going to restore it. It'll be a nice house when it's all got back to life again. The next house here now is Bill Shea's. Bill Shea lived here on the right hand side, and they got a new house. You've probably seen it when your home is here a long time now. His son Bob's lives here. So that brings us to Roxbohan, you know Roxbohan. So you were down there many a time as well. Now Mel Duncan, or Mel Dunican, you used to know them as Mel Duncan. We call them Duncans now. He sold the site here, and this man that lives in this house, his dad is doing up Courtney School. So I don't know what's involved, I don't know their names. But here on the right is Burns's. I'd say you'd never know you knew Burns's now. This Burns's, they left it to young Pat, or the son of Pat's in New York owns it. So he just set the land, but the house is there now. I don't know what they're going to do with it. Probably could be restored to a dwelling, I suppose. It's grants going now. If it's derelict for a number of years, you get €75,000 to bring it back to life. Maybe to do that. So here on the right is Willie Dunican lived here. Just here on the right, the old house is gone. Well, that's a bit of it there. There's a bit of it there in the room there. And his son Mel now lives on the right hand side up here. He's lives in this bungalow. On the left hand side is another new house here. This is Mel's house here on the right. And then this house here, you wouldn't know, this was Freddie Lyons. Freddie Lyons lived here, so young Johnny McElhain lives here now, himself and his wife. The old house is not great, so they bought this and done it up, so that's Freddie's house, used to be Freddie's house. So now we're coming up here and up straight in front of us is where Sissy Welch lives up there. This house here is a new house. It's young Peter Cox. You knew old Peter Cox and Jim. That's young Peter. That's his. He built a new house there and his wife. There's a few new houses up here on the left. I'll just drive up straight here. Here is Sissy Welch's house. Sissy Welch, now they call themselves Welch's now. Probably the proper pronunciation. And that's their son of hers built a house there as well. That's his house. front of a house here. Joe Fatty's son. You remember Joe Fatty? He was telling you Stephen used to buy stuff off in vans and things like that. He had the swing boats and going round to carnivals. But his son has built these big piers here. It's nearly like Buckingham Palace. This place in here is called Lara. He's built a big house here. This is his big house here. He's made a road in here now. And he deals in cars and all that sort of stuff. So that's the son of Joe Fatty's. This is that house there now. This is the entrance into it from the other side when you're in here with the houses. We're looking out now again. That's the entrance, the big stones, pillars and bricks. To the right here now, Johnny McAlynn's Avenue, the old where the parents lives. It's down this avenue, and there's new houses here on the left hand side. That's Johnny McAlynn's old house down there. There's new houses built here on the left hand side. And nobody lives in that old house of McAlynn's now. There's a new house directly beyond it. The son built it and he sold it again to someone. So we're travelling back through Darragh now. We're back to Gortine. We'll soon be going up Gortine Hill again, right back to Lovey's. So this house here, little house here, belongs to the son of Peter Cox, the man that has the new house back there. Here on the right, this is a house that Peter Cox, old Peter Cox, the council built that house for him, so his daughter lives there. We're going out of Darragh now in a few minutes, but there's a few houses here on the right. Big house up there now on the hill. That man came from Wexford and built that, and he died shortly after with cancer, and then his wife died a few years after. So there's two young, there's a son and a daughter. They're only in their 20s. Very sad. Two parents gone in a short time. Lovely house. You can see all over Gortine here, but it's in a height. Here now on the right, Andy Frawley's granddaughter lives in this house. Except for the husband lives in this house. This is the girl that restored in the old house. They live there. Now we have well, 1, 2, 3 new houses here on the right hand side. To the Shaskin Bridge in a minute. We'll be back into Gortine. There's one house just here, this side of the bridge. Baskin Bridge. There's a plaque there. Now we're going up Barney Girty's or Lobby's Hill. Now we're climbing it. Right in front of us here. Here now on the left hand side, Barry and Wendy, that's their names. Barry died there last year, so they're very good neighbours to Sissy. They're from England. They're here. He's here, must be here 20 years now, near-handed. So they bought this house, was built on spec, so it's the contractor sold it and he bought it. That's their house. And they have family here in Ireland as well. Very good people, very nice to Sissy, very good to her. So we're coming up to Rose Cottage now. This is Lovey, and you remember Barney and Lovey. So on the right hand side then you have Peacock Farmhouse there, and that's where your Uncle Tommy and Aunt Martha lived before Sissy and Steady moved into it. That's where Stephen and Sissy lived there. Colleen and Charlie stayed there when they were home in the summertime. And just right here in the corner now, right here in this corner, that's where Jock's house was, where you see the shrubs and things there. And then the garden, Jock's garden, is Sissy Welch's son, he lives there now. So now we're coming to the end of the little video. So I hope it will give you food for thought to look back in your time when you were growing up here, see the changes, and we're looking forward to seeing you over at Colleen's wedding celebrations. So I want to thank my son-in-law Anthony for cameraman, and I hope you can understand your children can understand my Irish accent. So I hope you enjoy it, Joe.